How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Floor Space with us, and he can say his name and what he does in the band.
Hello, I'm Charlie, and I write all the songs and play the music in the band Floor Space.
Hell yeah. Love Charlie. I will tell this story, even though Charlie probably doesn't want me to say it. He just doesn't want me to say it. But I met Charlie at the 4 Year Strong show, Enemy of the World. They did their like anniversary tour, and I was like, you bet your ass I'm not gonna miss that tour. And then shouts to Tyler from Youth Fountain was opening. And I met him backstage, and I was like, "Yo," I'm like, he's like, "Do you interview bands?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And then we like had a good conversation, and then I had the lovely Sam from Big Picture email me, and they were like, "Would you like to interview this band called Floor Space?" And I was like, "I know that name. That band name sounds familiar." And then I went on Instagram and I looked, and I was like, "That's Charlie's band." I was like, "That's kind of sick." I was like, "It's coming full circle." And then I asked Charlie if he remembered me, and he was like, "I met a lot of nice people at 4 Year Strong that night." And I said, "I'll give you the pass, man." Not to throw, I didn't want to throw Charlie under the bus at all. I was not offended. I just want to preface, I was not offended at all. I was just like, maybe I just got to work on my charisma. I got to be more memorable. I think that's like, I got to workshop it a little bit more. Maybe I gotta
No,
be a little more energetic.
no, you're killing it. You're killing it. I just meet a lot of people at shows, and
That's fair.
yeah, especially 4 year shows. There's a lot of nice people at
There
4
is
year
a
shows.
lot. There is a lot. Yeah. I feel like everybody who's watching this is just me, like, just trying to just cancel you immediately. I'm just like,
Yeah,
cancel
immediately I
Charlie."
look like a bad
You're like, cancel this guy. I don't even know why I'm having him on the show. I'm just trying to cancel him, actually. No, I'm not. Don't actually
guy.
check it. Don't cancel Charlie. He's very
No,
nice.
no, no.
Very nice guy. But actually, we have a lot of great homies in context. So, like, I've heard of your band, and I can guarantee I've definitely seen your band play at one point in my life. I've been doing this for quite a bit, and I know you've been around the block a little bit. So I know been cooking for a bit, but I wanted to know, Charlie, when did Floor Space start out? When did you kind of have you been in like projects before, like in the area? Because I know we're in like this Philadelphia area. So, did you always like envision yourself just being a solo artist and kind of going through like just that rank, or were you like, I'm in high school, I'm doing high school bands, like what? Give me the anthology story, like the origin story of Charlie and why you decided to do this.
So, I mean, I started out playing in bands when I was like 14,
Wow.
and then
Okay.
ended up touring more when I was like 16, 17. And just like I went to this like weird performing arts high school where like we were able to kind of get time off for things that pertain to our major and stuff.
Mm.
So I would get off to like do shows and everything in that realm as much as I could, and just touring the East Coast and stuff. And then I was in a band for 5 years called Keep Flying, that definitely brought me more into touring like more of the country and more of Canada. And in like 20 I was in that band from 2016 to 2021, and Floor Space started in 2017.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
yeah, so it was kind of like one after another type of thing. I started Floor Space with two of my friends, and then they eventually left like a year and a half ago. So the band kind of starts like formed into just a solo thing, that now I'm really happy with, and it's kind of like finding my identity and like putting on like a superhero suit and like like taking the reins and doing it all myself has been super tedious and super hard, but it's been also like really gratifying and everything. So yeah, that's kind of like my origin story as far as like where I've toured and who I've been with and stuff like that.
Yeah, and what kind of made you, obviously after I feel like when any band loses members and stuff, that can certainly be like a hard blow to the project and stuff. What kind of ultimately made you want to just run it as more of a solo work and go through that route versus like maybe finding new members, or did you just want to you just wanted to do it on your own because you're just like, this is me, like I want to be like the I want to just keep going as like myself and like doing it that way and have people tour with me and do it that way, or did you were you trying to look for other people to maybe fill those gaps for you?
I mean, I think that I immediately wanted to go in to do a more of a solo thing because floor space has been such a me thing since the get-go. You
Hmm.
know, like all three records that we've put out now are so much of like a diary to me, like a journal. And I'm very, very like, you know, the band hasn't really written about any topics that I haven't gone through like firsthand. And you know, so I think that I wanted to just make it more of an identity thing and take it more seriously and just have the freedom overall to do whatever I wanted with the project. You know, the butt heads with so many people in bands sometimes that I think I just reached the point where, you know, you said I've been around the block and everything like that. I just kind of like wanted to do it more more myself and make it more of a me thing.
Sure.
So yeah.
I know that like comes across as like, and I don't take it as being like a narcissistic thing, as because like like I am the sole person that runs this. So like I feel
Sure.
like there's a point of pride where you're like, I just want to do it. Like I want it to be my thing, and like people can view it as like this like, oh man, what is he like on an ego trip kind of a thing? Like he's got to do it himself. What's wrong with that? Why can't he have other people to help out? It's like it's not that that's the case. I feel like for me it's like I like steering my own ship. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, hey, let me just do it myself. If I screw it up, like that's fully on me. I've fucked it up. That's on me, and like I gotta live with that. Where I feel like if you're in a band, you're just like each individual, depending upon however many members you have in the group, you're like, I don't know, Billy over here, not cutting it. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
like that's a tough conversation to have. And so, like, I appreciate that you're just like, listen, if I'm gonna do or die it, I'm just gonna do it myself. You know, I'm gonna wave the white flag on my own ship. You know, if it comes down to it. Um,
100%, man. Yeah.
and then jumping from like doing keep flying, and then as well as that doing floor space. Um, were you trying to like maybe find like a different outlet to be able to write different things like musically during that time frame? Because I know sometimes bands do the like the side project thing where they're just like, hey, this is something I like to do and like to kind of free up, you know, whatever free time I have, I want to be able to utilize it well. So was that kind of a necessity for floor space to exist, or were you just like, man, I'd like to try something different that isn't this music. Let me try doing this. What was kind of the thought process of starting that? So, because you said it was like 2017, am I correct, Charlie?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep Flying started in like 2016, and then Floor Space started in 2017.
Okay.
And so, and yeah, for years there, I was touring so heavily with KF and everything that Floor Space was kind of treated like a side project thing. And I loved the music I was making in that band whenever I had the chance, but I never took it as seriously as the last 2 years or so.
Mm,
Because and you know, I really just wanted to use like the rest of my 20s and on to make something that was, you know, like 100% authentic to me and the person that I am. And you know, like you said, kind of like steering my own ship
mm.
and calling the shots and everything like that. And I hope everybody knows I love the KF guys
Yeah.
so much. I love that. Like there's horns on the record, and it's John, and he killed it, and you know what I mean. Like so, that was awesome, and you know, I wish those guys the best, and we're probably always going to play shows together. Um, but you know, we were doing really heavy touring, and I looked at both bands and both projects, and I just kind of said I wanted to do my own thing with this band
Yeah.
too, and I started you know, working on it's also too, you know, as a musician, you work on songs and you have to kind of make the decision of like, is this this band song, or like when you're in two bands, you make a decision of like, is this a floor space song or is this a KF song or is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
something
yeah.
else? Everything I was writing was just so much of more of a me thing, and so much more of like, I think this is a floor space song, and everything I kept churning out was um more a three-piece punk rock thing,
Mhm.
and that's what I wanted to do more of. And so, here we are a couple years later, and we're all just doing our own thing still, and it rocks. It rocks the way that things turned out, honestly.
Yeah, no, and I think it takes a lot of, like, honesty to be like, "Hey, this isn't like, I wanna be able to do my own thing," like, and also, like, sitting down and writing that material and being like, "I think this would be better suited for what I'm trying to do," and, like, I think you gotta have those honest conversations, so, I mean, for you to be able to kind of wrangle 2 bands at the same time, I think that's I mean, I don't know how bands do one band, more or less have, like, multiple projects, so, kudos to the people that can do more than one group, but it's really cool, and I did have a chance to listen to your new album, which is, Maybe This Is It. I'll leave a link in the description, go check it out, but I listened to, like, the first couple songs, so Spine, Replay Buttons, and Easier, and I was like, "Damn, this is really good." Like, this is super catchy, like, really fun, like, it brings me back like, the first word that or, like, adjective that came to mind was, like, you are, like, nostalgic. Like, there was something about it that I was just like, "Damn." I'm like, "Charlie's really bringing the nostalgia with this." I'm
Wow, thank you.
30, that so I'm like Blink-182, like, all of those, like, early pop punk bands, like, stuff like that, I really love and still have a lot of admiration for, but I was like, Charlie taps into that, like, nostalgia that I'm like, "Oh my god," like, I kinda miss this. I miss there's groups that do this and that sort of stuff. So, like, how is the writing process for, Maybe This Is It? Also, I'm gonna walk off the camera for a second. My cat is, like, trying to get out of my room, and I can just hear him just fucking screaming at me. So, if you
Don't
answer the
worry.
question, Charlie, and I'll be back.
Um, yeah, I think that I'm definitely like a very 2003 guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if that makes sense. Like, I really love like all the nostalgic stuff from like the early 2000s, and just like, skateboarding culture from then, and
Yeah.
pop punk music from then, and like the Warp Tour years from then, and everything like that. And that's all I ever wanted to be like a part of in writing music, and watching like old tour documentaries and old skate videos and stuff like that. Or like, they're old now, but growing up with them, and everything was just like, really made me want to just not only play music and take music more seriously, but like, music was always my gateway to travel.
Mhm.
And that was always like, once I kind of unlocked that, of like, oh, you can see new places with and hang out with your friends with music. That was like, oh,
Trifecta.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to be good at music then. Um, so yeah, I think that that definitely shines through the songs and everything, and we try to reference a lot of things in like our live show, and in the songs themselves and everything, that just kind of show our admiration for that time period and stuff.
Yeah, it feels like as I was listening through to it, I was like, this feels like if I was playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on my TV in my room. Like, this is like a song that would show up on that like playlist because I've talked about it a lot recently on the pod, but like underrated goat. Like, whoever put some of those like classic like Tony Hawk Pro Skater like playlists together
Yeah,
deserves an award. That man
absolutely.
or woman crushed it. So I love that. And I feel like your music is very evocative of like that or like a TRL kind of like again, I'm aging myself. I don't really care. But like I feel like it's that type of stuff that you don't really see a lot in that like the skate punk sort of scene right now. I don't know, maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I find that like that was kind of again pulling it back to the nostalgia. I was like, Charlie's really hitting the nostalgia, and excited to delve into the rest of the album, you know, once we're off air, and I'll shoot you a DM on Instagram. But the
Yeah,
first three
please do.
songs, I was like, I fuck with this. This is great. Like I was like, I hadn't listened to any of the stuff prior to that, so I was like, I should probably go back and listen to some older Floor Space stuff. But I was like, let me just give the new album a spin just before we hop on, and I was like, those three songs definitely stuck out a ton. I would say out of the three that I listened to, I'd probably say I enjoyed Easier the most out of those three. But I haven't listened to the rest of it, so there might be a hidden gem in there that I haven't listened to yet.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I hope you like the rest of the record. Let me know what you think, man, for
A-
sure.
Absolutely. And well, I have to ask you this, Charlie, in terms of like people who haven't checked out Floor Space and they happen to click on this video, what song would you recommend to a new listener to check out first to kind of give them an idea of like what you do, your sound, your vibe, all that stuff?
I would say listen to our song Self Destruct.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
that is the one that is kind of like the newest, freshest sounding on the new record and everything. I think it kind of like sums up like the vibe a little bit.
Okay. Do you have any OG pick? Like, you do you have like a song that's off, like maybe some, you said you had like three records out with Floor Space. So do you have any OG pick that you're like, man, this one kind of hits?
Yeah, I would say okay, from the first record, I would say 88 is my
Okay.
favorite.
Okay.
From
Okay.
the second record, there's a song called Gray on there that is my favorite off of that record. And those are kind of the rankings.
The trifecta of Floor Space. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you had the Venn diagram, like those three songs, and then the middle would be Floor Space.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
got you.
That's how it fits.
I'll get my team on it, which means me. I will make a diagram right now, and it'll already be on the screen.
We steer the ships.
We steer the
We know
ships, baby. Yeah. So
that.
Post Brandon sitting here at the desk and be like, "Fuck, man, come on, you gotta make me do more work." All right, well, guess I gotta
Yeah,
do it.
isn't that always how it goes
It's like
when
the
you're
mirror. Like I go into my bathroom and I look at myself. I'm like, "You're gonna edit that video," and you're like, "Oh man, you gotta start paying me more." You know.
yeah, it's like the Green Goblin scene from Spider-Man. Like
Oh my god. And I also have to give you a shout out because I also know you do like some like movie review stuff. I know this is like very like off tangent, but I was like, damn, when we initially met at that 4 Year Strong show, I was like scrolling through. I was doing a little stalking, and I'm gonna be honest. I was like, let me see what Charlie's about. So then I was
I
like,
love
damn, he's making some YouTube videos. Okay. I got so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you want to check that out, I'll leave it linked. It won't have like if you want to go support Charlie's YouTube endeavors, you know, as someone who is also a YouTuber, you know, I gotta give him a shout. So we're gonna
I
go.
gotta get back to the game, man. I've been out of the game for like
Been
a
out of
year
the
now.
game. Oh, okay.
But there was a podcast that I was working on called Going For It, and it's still up on YouTube and everything like that. So if anyone wants to check that out, we'll be returning back to the game at some point.
I got you. I'll leave you a link down below, Charlie. I got you. I got you. You know, as another fellow YouTuber, I gotta give you the plug. So
Appreciate
respect.
it. Man.
But
Appreciate.
the next question I have for you, Charlie, is I know we talked about like the skate punk like culture and like really being invested in like that, as well as like the Vans Warp Tour and like a lot of OG tour things. But what was kind of like the first group you watched, either like on TV or like YouTube, and you're like, man, it'd be really cool to be a musician. Let me do that. Let me go tour the country, the world, whatever.
It was definitely Green Day for me. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah, for me it was Green Day. I mean, I was like a super classic rock kid before that. Like everything I was learning on guitar and stuff was like super AC/DC. Like I used to
Power
like
chords, yeah.
yeah. Like I used to like sit there with like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 and just like play along to the intro because TNT was the first song I ever learned.
Oh
And
shit. Okay.
so I used to like play along with it like that. And but then when I heard Green Day, that was like the big click moment for me and everything. And like seeing like I have a giant bullet in a Bible poster like in front of my desk right now and
Nice.
everything. Because like watching that documentary and like seeing like again the travel aspect of it and like, you know, everything that they contributed to punk rock and the fact that they were kind of like my gateway drug into other bands like like Billy Talent or like
Yeah.
you know like just like again, that whole early 2000s like vibe, or like, they got me into Bowling for Soup, they got me into like, so it really, that was like the moment where I realized like doing it myself could be accessible.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I feel like the vibes you gave me, at least in terms of like if I had like a four fans of, I feel like you definitely Green Day was one of the first ones that I was like, okay, he's definitely got some Green Day for sure. Like, there's no way. I
Yeah,
got a little bit of some 41, like some OG, another OG pop like punk band, love them.
one of my
And
favorites. Yeah.
third, I feel like I'm kind of out on that one. Like, I definitely know those two are for sure. And I know that there's some other band. If I can think about it, I'll put the text up here. But I know there's. I was listening through to all three of those again, Spine, Replay, Buttons, and Easier, and I was like, there's some other band that I know for a fact that he's drawing from that I can't quite remember right now. So if I
Okay.
remember it, I'll throw it up in the text. But yeah,
Yeah. Let me
I
know.
I was surprised. I was like, damn. Like, again, the nostalgia trip was like super on point. So I love that. Um,
Yeah.
but who kind of influences you now, Charlie? I know obviously those are very much like the centerpiece of what you do and why you love, making this like punk rock and like almost like pop punk adjacent type music. But who's kind of are there any bands currently right now that are like influencing like possibly new floor space material?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say like there's a lot of bands that are like kind of I would say like underrated right now that I draw inspiration from, like
Hmm.
especially on like in the last 2 years, like since doing Nothing Makes Sense, and maybe this is it because they were done in a pretty short time frame
Okay.
from one another. Um, bands like Bad Luck from New York.
Yes. Shout
I
outs.
love Bad Luck, and that definitely has kind of helped my listening to them a lot has helped my writing style and everything. I don't know if they realize that because like I'm friends with those guys, and I don't think they realize how much their band influences my writing. But um, yeah, Bad Luck. There, bands like No Pressure, and just like faster punk rock bands and everything that have been, and even to go back to the kind of core bands, like I've been listening to a lot more like Alkaline Trio and Jimmy Eat
Mm.
World
Okay.
and stuff, and even on Spine there's like a little bit of a turnstile in there, like with what I was trying to go for, or what I was listening to at the time and didn't even realize I was writing a little
Yeah.
bit of that, you know. Um, I would even like on Replay Buttons. There's a there's a guy who goes by Games We Play,
Yes.
um, who
Fantastic.
I think that when I wrote Replay Buttons, I was like, this guy has Games We Play vibes in it for sure, and that's because I was listening to a lot of Games We Play. Like I'll be totally honest of when that happens, of when that is just like I was listening to so much of it, wrote a song, and then it ended up coming out that way. So, just to name a few, I think that's kind of where my head was at on a lot of these songs.
Yeah, and I like that you're pulling from like the more modern type like punk rock, like pop punk sort of vibe of things where you're like, okay, I'm not just going to be pulling from some of the bands that I like love and grow up with, not that they're not important to me because they're always going to be like, a main ethos of what I do, but I like the fact that it's like you're like, I'm totally okay with listening to like Games We Play, and that's like been a more major influence to me, or like Bad Luck. Like those types of groups that are like, I would argue are like, pretty mid tier, like up and coming groups right now.
Hmm.
It's good to hear that, you're still pulling from what's currently out, and it's not just like, okay, like this guy listens to a lot of Green Day. This guy listens to a lot of Sum 41. It's like a good like middle ground, or like what I like to consider like a gray area of like, okay, there's nostalgia and it's there, but it's not like campy where you're like, oh, this guy's totally trying to like take these same exact riffs and like recycle them. It's like, okay, he's bringing it into a new light, and it's still like has that nostalgic undertone, but isn't like entirely like just complete like exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you know where the
absolutely.
influence lies. You know. So
Totally. And again, with being like, homies with some of the people in these bands and everything, like you grow I grew up in a performing arts high school where I learned more from the kids that I went to school with than the teachers themselves. So, like when it comes to being in this like, weird punk rock scene, like you got to take influence from your friends, that your peers that you think are cool and think are doing it better than you, or just as good. You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of how, and that's how it's always been, for me.
yeah, it's always gonna push the needle a little further, you know. If they like see you, then they're like, "Oh man, Floor Space is really putting out some killer stuff. Now we have to do it." And then you're gonna check their stuff out and be like, "Oh man, like they're doing some cool shit. Now I gotta up my game." So
Yeah.
I'm happy with where the scene is at right now. I mean, obviously, always wanted to get better, but it's really cool to see like people be a little bit more upfront or a little bit more honest and being like, "Hey, yo, I'm influenced by this band. Like, I'm influenced by this person." Like, it's the same
Mhm.
thing when people ask me, they're like, "Oh, who are you influenced by that like teaches you how to do like interviews and stuff?" And I was like, I just watch a lot of people interview other people, which is like very weird, but like I learn from like Sean Evans who does like Hot Ones. He's a great interviewer, you know, like these are all people that I like aspire to be like, even though I'm not eating hot wings with Charlie right now, you know. But
I wish.
I mean, I wish too, but I'm not trying to feel it tomorrow, you know. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's rough. But for me, it's like I always want to try to like feel like I'm trying to better myself as an interviewer, and I feel like with a lot of the musicians that I have on, including yourself, is like I want to be able to step my game up every time that I release something and somebody's like, "That's your best material," or like, "This is your best song that you've written." Like, and I'm sure it's really gratifying at the end of the day when people are like, this is fucking sick, you know, like you did a great job, Charlie, you know. And thus far, at least for the 3 songs that I've listened to, I'm like, I'm probably gonna be listening to this a lot. I have a feeling like I have the bug, you know, so I'm about it, you know.
Cheers, man. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
But the next question I have for you, Charlie, is what are you listening to more currently? What's on your Spotify? What have you been listening to more currently now?
Okay, let's see. Um, okay, so I'm obsessed with these two dudes, Joey Valance and Bray.
Hmm.
They have an
Okay.
album out called Punk Tactics, and it's like Beastie Boys, like Bismarcky, like it's literally the best. They're
Oh.
playing the church in Philly in January,
Oh
and
shit.
I'm already like so excited for it. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So I've been listening to a lot of them. The new Blink album is good, surprisingly. Like I it like I
I
love
like how you were just like, yeah, I guess it's okay. You know, it's Blink.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I just think that okay, so like I I wasn't expecting it to be as great. Like obviously Blink-182 is one of the best bands to ever exist,
Sure.
ever. But as a studio band, they fell off for me on the last two records. And I love like everything that Tom DeLonge has ever done for the most part. But like the singles that they chose to release, I wasn't huge on.
You weren't a
And
fan,
then
yeah.
when I and then when I listened to the full record, I was like, this is fucking great. Like there's only like two songs on the new Blink album that I don't really love. Like I don't love Edging, which was like the single that they had out
Yeah.
for like months. And so that I thought that the whole record was gonna sound like Edging, and it doesn't. It's actually
That's
like
good.
it's really, really cool. Um so I fuck with the new Blink album. I fuck with the new Olivia Rodrigo album.
Yes. Oh, same. Yeah. It's great.
Um yeah, it's so good. Uh, I've been listening to the Bloodhound Gang again because
Ooh.
they're just
Okay.
funny and make me laugh. And then I'll shout out a band that I just saw this past weekend, Life's Question.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
it's like a hardcore band, and they're just fucking cool. They have what's the name of their album? World Full of is
Oh,
the
okay.
like their recent shit. And yeah, if you like hardcore music, they're They're fucking cool.
I do dabble in some hardcore music, so now I have to check out Life's Question. Shout outs.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, have not listened to the new Blink album, and not just because I'm not a Blink fan. I'm just like, I feel like for me, it's like Blink 182, much like similarly to like all of the like bands that I grew up listening to. I'm like, are they ever gonna be like as good as like a Dude Ranch or like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket? You know, like
The answer is no.
there, no, yeah. So
No.
I feel like I'm already gonna be like, yeah, I don't know. But I also find like, and this may be a hot take to some people, but like, I find that like I can't really get down with like a 40-plus-year-old like talking about like shit that they talked about in their like teens, like well, I don't know when Blink started, but like 18, 19, 20, probably even earlier than that, you know.
Yeah, I think about that all the time because like all the songs are really like relationship driven
Yeah, yeah.
on the new Blink record, and like and you know they're not the only ones that do this either, but like yeah, it is weird because I like I said before, everything that I write about is so like firsthand. Like I can tell you
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
lyric by lyric like where that came from, which and I know that Blink used to be that way.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know, so that's always a weird thing for me. I think it's just like songwriting in general. Like it's like the art of like being able to write about something that didn't necessarily happen to you and stuff. And I think that's cool when you can tap into it. But I totally feel you on like when you get to a certain age, you're like,
You're like,
why are you still singing about getting dumped when
yeah,
you've
yeah,
been
yeah.
chick
And
for
there's
like 25 years?
I'm like, are
You
you
know?
not telling us something? Like
Yes, yes.
you got kids and a wife, like, like
Yes, totally. I was saying the same thing with like, even though Green Day is like my favorite band ever, they have have a new song out called "The American Dream Is Killing Me," and I just think that if you're that band, aren't you done with singing about America? Like, aren't you
I
like
guess not.
aren't you just a little done with it? Like, I don't know, but
I
I
feel you. I feel you. Yeah, it's like how like, and no offense to Green Day, but like you guys are like rock stars. So like how what do you have to like you what do you have to complain about? Like you are living the life that like you are like being pissed off about like 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah, they're my favorite band of all time, but it was funny to watch them like perform the song on like an Amazon sponsored event. And you're like, all right, guys. Like, it's the
It
shit
feels
that
self-defeating, yeah.
you have to make fun of it, especially with where I'm I'm at the bottom of the bottom. So if I don't make fun of these guys, I just if you don't laugh, you cry. You
Yeah,
know?
like I feel like they have to see the irony in that. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
Like there's no way they're like, "Yeah, we're going to talk about how much we hate America." And then they're like, "Use promo code Green Day 10 to save 10% off your Amazon order." Like, come on, man. Like you
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
be feeding more into it, or buy exclusive Amazon merch from, like from us, whatever. Like
Totally.
it's
Yeah.
a little odd. So I feel like that's my only caveat to Blink and like any band right now that's like releasing stuff that they like released 20 years ago. Like if I wanted to listen to that, I'd just go listen to American Idiot or I'd listen to like Dookie. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to get that shit, I would just go listen to that. Like no offense, but
Which,
like
by the way, when it comes to them being a live band, they're doing that tour next
yes,
summer.
they are. Yeah,
Sick. Like that's I'm absolutely gonna go to that, and I'm
for
gonna.
sure.
However, if we want to keep fucking shitting on people, my, my least favorite band of all time, the Smashing Pumpkins, is opening that
I
tour,
know. I did see that.
and I'm like, I'm gonna drink so many beers during their set. I'm gonna ignore that set so hard, like.
All the people that like your band and also Smashing Pumpkins are like, bro, Charlie, why'd you do that, man?
I'm so. Oh yeah, yeah. There's like three people that are like, so you're telling me he didn't remember Brandon? He fucking he doesn't like the Smashing Pumpkins.
We're
Like,
just making a hit list for you of just
and he hates bandmates. Like, But,
Charlie's like laughing, but inside he's like internally just being like, "Oh my god, I'm such a terrible human being." Like, like, no,
no,
I'm just kidding. But
I do that enough all the time. It's fine.
it's all right.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't be in the scene of music if you didn't do that. I feel like that's a true test. But no, that's
Yeah.
no shading on these bands. Like all in good fun. Like I feel like they could take a joke certainly, but yeah, I often think about like a Blink 182 or like a Green Day, like the way that they write, and it's just like I respect that they do that. Like granted, I would love to be able to like tour the world and like be like inducted into like hall of fames and stuff like that for like your
Mhm.
contribution to your music, but like I feel like at some point you have to like look in the mirror and be like, I'm currently in the Amazon green room and like I'm doing a song about how much I hate America or like whatever's going on. Like I feel like there has to be some sort of irony that you like think about when you're on stage. Like Billy just can't just be like, "Ah, yeah, I'm just gonna let this go." Like, I still hate America, and then like literally below him, it just says Amazon Prime. Like can't do that. It just isn't. I'm not feeling it. But
It's fun.
enough dog shitting these
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
bands. They're amazing. Charlie and I both love these bands, so
I
don't.
promise they're the reason why I started playing music,
Yes.
and that's why we're allowed to make fun of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. We've been fans long enough. I feel like we can. Everybody's got a good couple jokes. It's in good fun. It's nothing. We're not like actually mad.
no, yeah. Like I
Yeah.
said, I love the new Blink album. I think it's great.
Except for if you're a Smashing Pumpkin fan, then Charlie is not on board with that.
Bro, I hate that band. Dude, it makes me so mad. I can't find like any positive. It's just it's just I
We'll
like
just leave it at that. For Billy
now we're
Corgan's gonna
done.
come.
Now we're
Yeah,
done talking
for
about
yeah, Billy Corgan's gonna be like, oh boy, I guess we're gonna have to walk off stage then. Whatever for a Philadelphia date. Well, anyway, shout outs to Smashing Pumpkins King. The next question I have for you, Charlie, is if you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Oh, well, I got to cover a song to like plug this a little bit. I got to
Mm.
cover a song that I wanted to cover for like forever. We put out a cover of Not the Same by Body Jar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to like, I'm a big Tony Hawk Pro Skater fan, and that was always like on repeat on the third game and everything. And like we put out we did a studio version of that and we play that in our live show and stuff. So that's been super fun.
I'm sure.
And Body Jar like shared it and everything, and that was like the coolest thing ever
You
for
were like,
me.
ah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that was sick. But I don't know. When I was like 19, my band at the time used to cover Constant Headache by Joyce Manor a lot, and that was like that's something that I want to bring back.
I like
Like
that.
I would love to just like start doing that again. I think that would be so much fun. So,
That's a great song. Yeah, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that name thrown around in a little bit. So I feel like if I had to put my metaphorical token in the jar, that's what I would choose. I feel like that's a
we're
great choice. Um,
sick. Thank
but
you
if
for your token.
You got it. You got it. Well, listen, Charlie, you're going to get some more tokens possibly. So, guys, if you like that suggestion or you want to offer a suggestion of your own, drop it down in the comments. Let us know what you would love to hear from Floor Space. I can't guarantee if Charlie will do it or not because I can't control other people, but a polite suggestion might go a long way. So
Yeah, we'll
maybe if you
see.
ask nicely.
Happen.
Yeah, or just frantically DM him. Don't actually do that. Don't. I'm not condoning you frantically DM. I feel like, in fact, if you do wind up doing that, he's probably not going to do it. So, comment below. That's the real vibe. But
There you go.
the next question I have for you, Charlie, is another fun one. What is your favorite food to eat? What's your go-to?
Oh, favorite food to eat and go to, I feel like are different.
Okay.
I feel like my favorite food to eat is like crab legs or like
Wow.
lobster or
Okay.
like
Okay. Okay.
I love like a good like I'm on vacation and I get like a lobster roll or like crab legs or like shrimp is great. Like I love like a good seafood night, but
I
it's
got you.
definitely not my go to. Like my go-to
Wait, you're
is
not
like,
having that every night? Oh, that's crazy.
God, I wish. God, I wish I lived that life. I wish I lived that
I
bougie
just
life.
see like Charlie sitting down over there and there's just a table and like the cloth is there and I just like he like turns around and he's got like one of those like bibs, you know?
One
One
day I'll
day,
get.
I hope I'm gonna be manifesting that for you.
Yes, please do. But I don't know. I feel like my go-tos. I've been trying to eat better. So like when I've been like, there's a lot of like Wawa in my area and everything.
Yep.
It gets very very easy to like just eat Wawa all the time. But now when I go to Wawa, I get like a nice salad and like that. So that's been good. Which is crazy. I didn't eat salad until I was 27 years old, and I'm 27 years old now.
Oh my
So
god.
that was the first salad I ate
Holy
was like
shit.
ago. Now I've been eating it like crazy. Um, so yeah, I guess that's my go-to right now, a nice Wawa salad.
What salad do you get? What type of
And a nice chicken Caesar salad.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Great.
fancy. Fancy. All
It's
right.
good. Yeah, yeah.
I like that. I like that. I haven't gotten a Wawa salad though. I will say. I
They're
look
not bad.
they're not bad. Okay. What would you rate it
Prefer
out of 10? What would we give it? Like is it
like
mid?
like a seven.
A 7? Oh, okay. Okay.
Seven, yeah. They put like a really good breaded chicken in there, and like it's
Oh,
like
okay.
nice.
Okay.
It's nice.
Okay.
It's not. I would say like it's almost as good as like a Panera salad.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay. That's
almost
some
there.
high marks. I get you.
Sheet salad is whack. Sheet salad is a
I
crazy move.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I've been to both Sheets and Wawa, and I'm just like, why would you ever get a salad at Sheets? I feel like they like
Yeah,
just specialize in like the things that will give you a cardiac arrest.
yeah. Well, like the choices for their salad even are like, would you like a hot dog salad? And you're like, that doesn't. That's not what.
They're like,
Like,
would you like to deep fry this salad? We're gonna put all the
yeah,
ingredients in a ball and throw it in a
yeah,
fryer
yeah. So you want the deep fried Oreo salad? All right, that's sick. Like that's what
with
sheet
extra
salad.
Oreo crumbles on top. All right, we got you.
Absolutely.
We love hot like warm salad along with our completely fried Oreo. Ugh.
They ask you if you want like whipped cream on
Yeah.
your salad.
Yeah, I've never decided to get a salad at Wawa, so maybe I might have to do that tonight since I have not eaten anything and I was like I should get something to eat. So maybe I'll pull the Charlie and do the Wawa salad, honestly. That's
That's
kind of a
great.
flex, kind of a flex. Every time I walk into Wawa, they unleash a new item on me, and they're like, "We have Wawa pizza," and I'm like, "Who's going to Wawa for a fucking pizza, bro?"
Yeah, I ate the. I'm not gonna lie. Like 2, 3 nights ago,
Did you eat the pizza?
I ate the pizza. I tried the pizza. It's like a big bagel bite.
Yeah,
It's
I die. Yeah, I was gonna say
a really big bagel bite, which is like really, really awesome at 3 in the morning. But any other time, it's not. It's not the vibe.
it's a questionable choice. Yeah, it
Yeah,
has to
my
be past the midnight threshold for it to seem like okay, that's an optimal choice.
yeah, dude, my Sicilian grandfather was like rolling in his grave, like for sure, for sure. Like,
He was just like, "Oh no, this can't. This I'm gonna go haunt it. I'm gonna go haunt him. He's getting
yeah,
haunted. Yeah, he's no.
100%.
He's like, this is what they call pizza now. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, that's okay. So that's the thing. He was like really Sicilian and had this like really thick accent when he was alive, and he would try to say like that's not pizza when I would like eat really shitty pizza, but he would say that's a no pizza. And I've always wanted to get a tattoo of my grandfather on a pizza box that just says that.
Says, I think you should. That would be amazing. And
Yeah,
then you
dude.
can come back to this. You can come back to this part of the interview every time you're like, hey, now I don't have to tell everybody about it. You can literally check out this timestamp here. You
Yes,
can
time
know. I
to do
got
it.
you. I got you. That's awesome. Like I said, guys, let us know if you've had the Wawa pizza. I need to know. If you live in the like Northeast, I need to know because I see it and I see like they make burgers and fries. I'm like, what the fuck else are you guys gonna make? Like,
Yeah.
like what else? What else can you like? What else can you like? put under the Wawa umbrella of things that you definitely shouldn't have made, but you did because
Yeah.
you're like, it's a vibe, you know?
They're gonna start tapping into the things that Bucky's has that Wawa does. Like they're gonna start doing like the briskets and like the pork
Oh no,
rolls.
that would not. No, no, no. I
Oh, it's
can't do it.
coming. It's coming, brother.
I feel like if anything, I think they would do like I feel like they would do like Asian food next. I feel like they're like, man, PF Chang's is really holding this market up. Let's do like because they do make egg rolls, and
Yeah. Well, then
I'm
you're
like,
probably right. They
I'm
probably
like,
are.
they might. I bet you some Wawa associates like, all right, so they're definitely not going to expect Asian food.
Yeah.
I please Wawa, do not do it. I swear to God, it is not a
Yeah.
good
We
choice.
don't need it. We don't
Don't
need
need
it.
it. Don't need it. I can go anywhere else to get not that from Wawa. I definitely do not.
Plenty
That is
of
not my
places.
first spot. If I just wanna put this out as a PSA. If you see me in my area or at a show and Wawa does decide to make Asian food and I am buying Asian food, please help me. I need help. That is my sign that I need help and that you need to help me. So please.
Life is not going well.
Life is not going well for me if I am buying Asian food at Wawa. So
Yeah,
don't
I'd
do
say.
it. Don't do it. That's like if you see Charlie at 3 a.m. getting a Wawa pizza, just you didn't see it.
And you know I'm drinking heavily.
You're like, wow, that looks a lot like Charlie, and Charlie's like, nah, you didn't. That's not me.
No, Green Goblin version.
Green Goblin. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
got you,
sure.
Charlie. We're under wraps. You know, we're gonna keep it locked in. But uh, the next question I have for you, Charlie, is if you were to have a guest feature on an up and coming floor space track, who would you love to have on? I'm gonna split the question up into two answers. First answer is one that's more reasonable. If you wink, wink, nudge, nudged, you know, ask somebody that you know you love, you'd love to have on a track, but you haven't asked the question, now's the time to do it. And then the second choice is the like a manifestation, like we're putting it out in the universe, the floor space universe.
Um, okay. Uh, I a realistic one would be my friend John, John Frazier, who uh plays in a band called Northbound. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, me and him are buddies, and I would love to make a song with him or have him sing on a floor space song or just anything. Like, he probably, if he heard this, he'd be like, "Yeah, why have we not done that?"
Well, now's the
Like,
time. You said it. So,
yeah,
like, you know,
like I would just love to make a song with that guy.
do it,
And
John.
yeah, everyone should listen to Northbound, for sure. Manifest answer, um, John Mayer.
I'm so
Manifest
on
answer.
board. I'm so on
I would
board.
love to write a song with that guy or just jam with that guy. Or just meet him for 5 minutes. Like he's just the coolest guy in the world, and that would be really sick.
I've never wanted to manifest something more in my life, you know. So if I can be an nth degree away from John Mayer, I'll do it, you know. So
Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll be like, wow, I interviewed Charlie and he got to talk and work with John Mayer. I'll be like, case solved, baby. I did it.
that's the dream. That's the dream right there.
That's the dream. Well, if you want this dream to become a reality, I need you first. You got to go follow Floor Space on Instagram and, links in the description first.
Do
Second
it.
thing you do is you tag John from Northbound. And then you also tag another John, more specifically John Mayer. And then you type the word collab question mark. And then you post that on your Instagram story. And then, it's a reality at that point, Charlie and I have both been on the internet for long enough. I mean, like, I feel
Yeah,
like if it's on the internet, it's got to be true, right? So,
yeah, we can manifest that. There are crazier things that have happened.
yeah, 100%. So I feel like that's it. They're already in the studio working on the new track. He's got 2 times the Johns, so it's gonna be 2 times the fun. So let's
Yeah,
go. Floor Space X Northbound X John Mayer. I mean, it's kind of. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard. I
yeah,
respect it. I
be
fuck
pretty
with the
sick.
vision. Yeah. So let's do it, guys. That's what I'm saying. So, the next question I have for you, Charlie. I am a huge nerd. so I love asking this question. If you could be a video game character, who'd you be?
I would be Nathan Drake from Uncharted.
Any
Um,
specific reason why you'd be Nathan Drake from Uncharted?
because similar to John Mayer, he's very, very handsome
Yeah,
and
facts.
just very, very cool and very in shape, which I'm trying to get at, and just lives a cool life and gets into crazy hijinks and
That's
yeah,
facts.
yeah, and great games, great games.
Great
I think
games.
Uncharted 2 is still my favorite game of all time.
That is high marks. Yeah. I've
So
played Uncharted too, so I know. Yeah. That's up
so much,
there. It's up there.
yeah.
That's a great pick. I like that, you know. And then I feel like Charlie is the infusion of Nathan Drake and John Mayer, you know. He's got so much
Wow,
cool energy, you know. Yeah.
thanks, man.
Listen, I people tell me that I riz up all my guests, so you know, I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
I'm doing it. I'm trying. I'm trying out. You know, if there was an award for people that riz up other people, I would hope that I'd be in the running. You know, I don't know if I'd win, but I'd like to know that I'd be up there.
You're in the running for sure.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Charlie. The
Yeah.
next question I have for you is if you were to compile a dream tour lineup, including floor space, who'd be on this tour?
Wow. Um, like okay, I'm gonna do like a tangible answer.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Fair. You do whatever
uh
you want. That's up to you.
um, the Menzingers.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Yeah, like I just would me and my bandmates currently would love to play with the Menzingers. Um, and I think if I could add another band to that tour package, it would be Fiddlar.
Ooh. Okay.
Um, I am a boy with a dumb Fiddlar tattoo that I got in a green room in Florida years and years ago, and don't remember getting.
But you
And
remember it was in a green room in Florida, though.
it was in a green room in the sound at the sound bar in Florida.
Wow.
And
Okay. So that's all you remember is that.
that's all I remember. Um,
Tapped
but
out.
yeah, uh, yeah. Okay, let's say this is a thing. Something I've never answered this one, but this would be cool.
Okay.
Headline would be the Killers, and
Ooh.
then Enzingers,
Ooh.
Fiddler, and Floor Space. There we go.
I'm about it.
That'd be so sick.
That would. I would.
Yeah,
I would. I would buy a ticket to that.
I would hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
we would hang out.
Yeah.
Fun.
Of course. Yeah. And then you'll
Yeah,
be like, "Wow, I remember you from that 4 Year Strong show."
yeah. I'd be like, then it would be like now.
Whoa, man! I remember everything now. It's crazy. Unlocked it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that'd be. Wow, that'd be a great lineup. I'd be about that.
Yeah, the Menzingers specifically, yeah, are just like a Pennsylvania like staple band that
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like a million times, and my bassist currently Alec has also seen like a million times, and we always just talk about like how fitting that show would be if we ever got to open. Like it'd be so fun.
I feel like they have to add you on. It'd be like a rite of passage. I mean, like it's like a passing the torch, you know, like
That
they're a
would be
PA
sick.
band. I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
they've been in the game for so long, and they've done so much for like the PA punk rock scene and stuff, and I just admire them a lot for that.
That'd be like on the same like length as like the Wonder Years. You know what I mean? Like them like being like floor space. Those guys are sick. We're gonna pass the torch to those guys. You know what I mean? Like I would start tearing up. I'd be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Charlie did it, man. Really did it.
Let's hope it's coming, man.
I hope so as well. Well, I don't want like the Menzingers or the Wonder Years to stop touring, but like it might happen, you know.
I
So
hope not.
I hope not, but you know, maybe they'll be like the Rolling Stones, and they'll still be like 80 years old and still be playing like Greatest Generation. They're like,
Yeah.
this is our 40th anniversary.
That
I
would
always
be
think about that. That's like my constant like elder emo kind of thing where like I'm like, how? Like, I'm just like, is like being an elder emo now like classic rock for like our parents. You know what I mean? Like
I did hear Good Charlotte on a like classic rock station recently, and I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on with this.
you switched that off as soon as possible. You were like, I can't.
Yeah, that was a moment of like, I'm 27.
Your
Like,
hair
no,
started to turn gray. You could start feeling the gray hair like coming out
yeah,
of the
like,
roots.
yeah, dude, for sure.
I feel like once that starts happening, then I'm like, we're cooking with gas now. This is not good. I'm not liking this.
Yeah,
I don't feel good, Mr. Stark, you know? So
comes up quick.
yeah, it comes out quick. So please be nice to all of your elder emos that are at shows because man, if I start to hear like Yellow Card on like a fucking like classic rock station, I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna be hurting. Yeah. So
Yeah,
please don't let that happen. If you run a radio station here in the Pennsylvania area, please don't do that. I'm gonna actually cry if that happens. So, not that I listen to the radio anymore because that's stupid, but you know, if I did, I wouldn't want that to happen. So,
yeah.
um, the next question I have for you, Charlie, is I know you've seen a lot of shows in your time, but who puts on a great live performance in terms of artists you've seen live?
Um, I'm gonna answer Fiddler again.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Love seeing that band anytime I get the chance. I saw them play Irving Plaza like a year ago,
Ooh, okay.
and one of the most fun shows I've ever been to in my entire life. And just every time I've seen them, it's like a cathartic. It's like a crazy experience and everything. So the show is super fun. Or also, Pup is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pup's a great band to see live. If anyone that's checking this out hasn't seen that band, they're so sick.
They are
So
very sick. I remember seeing them. I don't know if they were. I'm trying to remember if they were on like a self. I went to self help one year and I felt like they were at they opened up for like they were a lot smaller than they were now. I would argue.
yeah,
But yeah, I just remember seeing them and I was like, wow, this band's really sick. I should follow them. And then I like wind up checking out a lot of their stuff and I'm like, I like it, but I haven't listened to any of the new stuff, so I'll have to. I know that they've released like an album or two since the last time I've given them a listen, so
yeah,
I'll have to go deep diving. So
good stuff for sure.
very excited. But the next question I have for you, Charlie, I know this is a big question, so I've saved it. I've saved the best ones for you, but I know you're a big movie head, TV head. So what's your favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Um, my favorite TV show is Lost. Uh,
Ooh, great choice.
I'm a huge Lost guy. I've watched it front to back like probably like 14 times. I have
Wow.
notebooks in my room of me analyzing each episode of Lost. And they're like highlighted and like everything. It's crazy. It's but
Charlie's
yeah,
cooking.
yeah. I love Lost. It's the best. Um, I'm also a huge Boy Meets World guy, but
Ah, nice. Yeah, great choice.
yeah, movie. Okay, I have like a childhood 2003 answer,
Okay.
and then I have like a this is like my real like I think that that's like the best movie.
Okay, I'll give you the pass, Charlie. You know, since you're such a movie buff, you know, so I'll give it to
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Um, uh, the 2003 answer is a movie called Grind. It's a skateboarding movie.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. I had a feeling. Is he
Um,
gonna say like a skate like a SLC punk or like is he gonna say like is he gonna say in that sort of like vein of those types of movies? And
yeah,
I was pretty correct on that, so I like that.
yes, Grind is a movie that I've seen like a billion times. I will watch it at any time. I'll watch it like as soon as it ends. If you ask me to watch it again, I'll probably watch it again. Like it,
You have to rewind and do it again. Yeah.
yeah, it's so funny. It kills me every time. But I think that like the best movie ever made is The Shawshank Redemption. Um,
Wow. Okay.
Like if someone was like, if someone who had never seen a movie before was like, where should I start? I would give them that and be like, you're starting with the best. Like, so
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Do you have any movies that you've seen this year that you're like that you would recommend? Because I haven't seen a lot of movies so recently.
It wasn't this year, but last year there was a horror movie called Fresh that came out, and I'm still obsessed with it. Like I won't even give any context about what it's about or anything, but it's just a super dark movie. It's super fucked up, and it's really really good. Like, yeah. So there's that. This year's been a weird year for movies, man.
Sure, yeah.
I've been falling off the last couple months. I really want to see the new Scorsese flick, but like in the last couple months, like I'm an A-list AMC member guy.
Hell
Like
yeah.
I usually go to the movies and pay like a monthly fee, like to so I can go like whenever
And
and
you
like
just
see
go.
them
You're just
and
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I just go, yeah. But the last like 6 months, it's been like a lot of weird children's movies out and like things that I just don't give a shit about. So I keep getting noticed. They're like, we want you back. And I'm
And
like,
you're like, give me
I'll
better
back.
movies.
Yeah, give me better movies right now. Cause like it's a weird time for movies. But if I could say, if there's anything in the last like 2 to 3 years, I would say Fresh. And there's a Netflix movie with Tom Holland called The Devil All the Time.
Hmm.
That came out. I don't know if it was last year or the year before last year, but it's definitely no more than 2 years old. And that was like my favorite movie of that year. So, so yeah, the past 2 years were way better than this year has
That's
been.
fair. Yeah. And now they have all the like strikes and stuff. I feel like that's also like super hard to like be like, yeah, go to the movies. And then they're like, I don't know. I see it all the time where it's just like, you should go to the movies. And then other people are like, don't go to the movies because you don't want to blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't even really watch movies or TV shows. I like watch a lot of YouTube. So I am completely I'm out. Like
Yeah,
I'll maybe go out and see like a Marvel movie, and that's like if I'm
sure,
feeling good, like I'm like I like the trailer, like I need to see this in theaters. It was like the last movie I can remember seeing that I would see in theaters was it was probably like one of the Marvel movies. It was probably
was
like
like
Endgame. It's
Guardians
probably like End. It was like Endgame probably. That was like the last one I think I watched in theaters. I haven't
Did you
even
see
seen it. I haven't
Guardians of the
seen
Galaxy?
any. I have not seen the new Guardians. I have not seen any of the like the subsequent film, like Black Panther 2. I didn't see like I didn't. So I'm behind. I'm definitely behind. I think the
Okay,
only movie I would see that is coming out next month is I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan, and The Boy and the Heron is coming out, and the cast is like chef's kiss. So good.
okay. So I've never seen a single Studio Ghibli
Oh,
movie.
bro, if you want to
Where should
cry,
where do I start?
that's tough. That's a tough sell because I feel like they're all different and everybody has a different answer. I feel like if you
Okay,
haven't seen any of them, I would start with the tried and true classic. Everybody says this one. Spirited Away is like the one I feel like if you're gonna jump in, you jump in with that one.
okay,
If you are like if you love the environment, I would probably suggest watching Princess Mononoke, which is like another classic Miyazaki film. But this new one looks is shaping up to be really good, and the like English dub cast is amazing. It's like Mark Hamill, Robert Pattinson's in it. Florence Pugh's in it. There's like a ton of great like voice actors that are in this movie coming up. So I'm
sick.
stoked. So I'd probably say if there's only movie I'd probably go see in theaters is that one, and that's like I really have to be like fully on board, fully committed. So I feel like
Yeah.
that would be it. But let us know if you've seen a good movie. Let us know in the comments. Charlie and I, well, I'm less of a movie buff, but Charlie might go actually do that. I
Oh,
can't guarantee I will, but
yeah.
somebody will. Or give us a good like Netflix or streaming movie. I love that. I'll gladly sit on my bed here and watch a movie like in the comfort of my own home. I'll make like a bag of popcorn and just eat it on my bed. So
Can't
let's
go
do
wrong
it.
with that.
That's a cozy night in. But
Oh
the
yeah.
next question I have for you, Charlie, is if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month, and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would that be?
I think Punk Tactics by Joey Valence and Bray.
Wow! Oh, coming full
Probably
circle.
It's so good. It's so good. I can't stop listening to it. I just love it.
Do you have a favorite off that album?
Yes, um, the third track, what is it called? Delinquent. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's so sick.
I'll have to give it a spin. Shout outs. Um, but the last question I have for you, Charlie, if you guys like Floor Space, Charlie is going to tell you where to find him at and all that stuff in just a moment. But had a lovely chat, kind of talking about like the history of your band and like why you do it and all that sort of stuff, and being a part of Keep Flying, and then ultimately migrating over to your own solo project and stuff. But I want to know why you're passionate about doing this, because I think a lot of times people look at it from the perspective of like, cool, Charlie's making music, sick, I'm gonna check him out, he's awesome, or like he's kind of mid or whatever. You know, people give a whole bunch of different slews of things. People probably tell me I suck, and I'm okay with that. But um, I want to know why this is important to you, why you care so deeply about writing music, because it's expensive, it's time consuming. It's all these things that I feel like a lot of people don't really take into consideration when listening to artists. So I love asking this question because I think it gives me more appreciation for your craft and why you do it. So, you know, why are you passionate about making music, and why do you continue to keep creating it?
I think that writing has always been my tool to get out of my depressive episodes or get out of my head. And I write a lot about stuff I've been through and the mental health side of things. And
Hmm.
then one of the things that happens in this genre is you hear other people's stories and other, how your music kind of affected them and everything. And so I'm always looking for that connection with the listener, that I've helped them, or the album helped them or anything like that.
Hmm.
So I'm always trying to do more of that. And then just seeing more of the world and connecting with more people through music. Like I feel like we put on a really good live show, and I'm trying harder than ever before to get on the right tours to show people, how much we're able to connect with them on like such an energetic live show experience type thing. So I want to keep doing more of that, and just seeing more of the world with my friends, and that's where I'm at with it.
Sure. No, I think that's a great way to live. And like, obviously, again, being so local to you, and I'm almost positive I will come out to see a Floor Space show because I don't have to travel very far. You're in the backyard. So I love that. So I'm very stoked on that. And obviously, you know, positive affirmations going further for Floor Space. I think they have a really great album. Maybe this is it. You can check the links in the description if you'd like to go grab it. But Charlie, tell the people where they can find you on social media, what you have coming up in the next couple months, and anything else you'd like to spill the beans on.
So when is this coming out?
This is coming out. While I look that up, you can spill the beans a little bit more, but I have a little list here. It is coming out
So
on the 29th of November.
Oh, okay. So we have some spring tours in the works that are going to be announced probably before the end of this year.
Woo.
I can't say who with yet, but
Let's
it's
go.
be pretty sick. And so yeah, we're working on stuff for like spring and summer of next year. The album's out now, so we'll probably do like a holiday show of some sort in the area, to probably just be cheerful with people and spread the love a little bit. We'll probably do like another. I don't want to like do shows before the end of the year. So like I feel like we're gonna do like one banger of a show before 2023 is up,
That's
and then
fair.
we're gonna get heavy like gritty touring with a bunch of these really cool bands like in spring of summer. So that'll all be announced soon. You can check it out at Floor Space Rocks on Instagram and Twitter, all that stuff.
There we go. Well, guys, if you live locally, which a large majority, well, I wouldn't say a large majority, a good amount of you people live in the area. If you're not listed to Floor Space, now is the time to start because he lives local. And, like, granted, he might be touring the world next year. So, like, I'm going to tell you, stonks are at the best point. If you want to buy Floor Space stonks right now, good time to buy. This is not financial advice, but I'm just saying, like, if you were to buy into Floor Space right now, prime opportunity to double your money. So
Absolutely.
not actual money, but like floor space tokens. I don't know, NFTs, whatever. I don't know what Charlie's doing. Maybe it's crab legs, something like that. Something. I
Yeah.
got you. I know, but seriously, go check out floor space. They're really sick. Maybe this is it. Links in the description, especially if you go stream it on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. It really goes a long way in helping Charlie get out there. Another way to help Charlie get out there is going to see him at a show. So I'll leave links to all of his social media so you know when this like holiday banger show is gonna be about. So, and if you are there and it's local, I will most likely be there. So come say hi to me if you want to. If not, totally don't. That's cool. Like, just look at me from a distance. That's not intimidating whatsoever. So go do that. I want to give a shout out to Sam from Big Picture. She's awesome. Love her. Big salutes. Go check out Big Picture. They're awesome. But as well as that, if you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe. It does go a long way. And huge thanks to Charlie for coming on tonight.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you for having me.